Beware of Regulation D! With its arrival, we'll have access to a bunch of new Pokemon who have never been available in VGC, the Hisuian Mons. Today, I'll rank each new Hisuian Mon and analyze their competitive VGC potential. First up, we have the D tier. Here we have Pokemon that are awful and are never the strongest option in any meta. Let's talk Hisuian Avalugg. Its horrendous special defense stat and speed means that it's probably going to die before it even has the chance to move. And its terrible defensive typing of Rock and Ice means that it's not going to be able to capitalize on its high physical defense either. It doesn't help that its signature move, Mountain Gale, is also bad, with only 85% accuracy, and its chance to flinch is useless because of its speed. If you intend on using this Pokemon, you'll need Trick Room, but you're honestly better off using something else. Easily the worst Hisuian Pokemon. With a special attack stat of 80 and mediocre defenses, Hisuian Electrode only has one thing going for it: speed. Ultimately, Electrode is just a Regieleki wannabe, as there's nothing Electrode can do that Eleki can't do better. The added grass typing is nice, but not enough to save Electrode from obscurity. Next, we have the C tier. In here are Pokemon that aren't necessarily bad, but they tend to be outclassed by other Pokemon around them. I tried looking up the definition of mid once, and all I saw was a picture of Hisuian Braviary's stats. While no stat in particular is bad, they all leave a lot to be desired. The only thing it has going for it is a pretty good move pool, including its signature move Esper Wing, a move that would be great on many Pokemon, but not Braviary. It's an 80 base power move that gives you +1 speed, but Braviary's speed isn't high enough to capitalize on the boost. Plus, its typing means that it loses to common threats such as Fluttermane, Iron Bundle, and Regieleki. As a big Decidueye fan, I'm quite disappointed by its Hisuian form. It's outclassed by other grass fighting mods, as they each have something that Decidueye can't do. Its signature move Triple Arrows is cool, though it's quite RNG dependent. All this makes Decidueye another C tier Pokemon. Now let's take a look at some B tier Pokemon. These are Pokemon that won't be good on every team, but will find their niche in the meta. Also, did you know that we have a Discord where you can interact with members of the VGC community? It's true! The link is in the description below if you want to join. Behold the mighty Sneasler the Long and its signature move Dire Claw, a move that can devastate opponents with its status conditions. In all seriousness, Sneasler is good, with great attack and speed. One of its strongest aspects is its move pool, getting access to moves like Close Combat, Fake Out, and U-Turn. It also has Night Slash to take down the ever so threatening Psychic types. If you plan on running Sneasler, give it a Focus Sash to make up for its poor defenses. Kleavor is a mixed bag. On one hand, it has a powerful base attack of 135, and the ability Sharpness to give it a 1.5 times boost to slicing moves, including its signature move, Stone Axe. Stone Axe punishes switching, which is solid into balance teams. It's going to be one of the hardest hitters in the game. On the other hand, its move pool is somewhat lacking, and its typing is pretty mid. Bug Rock struggles to hit some of the important types, and it's just okay on defense. With all that said, it will be a good Pokemon in niche scenarios, earning its spot in the B tier. Wyrdeer's introduction into VGC gives us our 4th Psychic Normal Trick Room setter available in Scarlet and Violet. So what sets it apart from the rest? Intimidate, that's what. While Wyrdeer won't be everyone's first choice for Trick Room setters, having the combo of Intimidate plus Trick Room will help it find its niche in the meta. Plus, its signature move, Psyshield Bash, raises its defense, which will pair well with more defensive teams. Wyrdeer is a solid B tier option. Who's a good dog? Is it Hisuian Arcanine? Well, maybe. At a first glance, it seems worse than regular Arcanine. It has a similar stat distribution to its modern-day counterpart, but its typing of Rock and Fire is one of the worst combos available. However, there is one thing that gives Hisuian Arcanine potential: its hidden ability, Rockhead. This ability makes it take no recoil damage from attacks. Pair this with the move Head Smash, a 150 base power move that usually has 1/2 recoil, and Hisuian Arcanine begins to look pretty good. Plus, the ability also pairs with Flare Blitz. I imagine we'll see this Pokemon used with the Choice Scarf. You know, looking at this tier list, I think D tier's a little high for Avalugg. There we go. That's better. If you're looking for a good fire type, then Hisuian Typhlosion isn't a bad choice. It's got solid stats and a couple of useful moves. It's a fast eruption user that will pair well with the Choice Scarf. Its added ghost typing means that it gets immunity to Fake Out, and its signature move, Infernal Parade, isn't bad either. Hisuian Goodra is an absolute tank, and with Heavy Slam, it could be the ultimate counter to Fluttermane. Plus, it gets the ability Sap Sipper, meaning it's immune to Spore. It's got a strong moveset, including the rare move Life Dew, which can be annoying because opponents will struggle to kill it. You can build it as a physical attacker, special attacker, support, or a mixture of any of those. Overqwil's phenomenal Poison Dark typing is only weak to ground, which is just the start of its strengths. Swift Swim allows it to provide great coverage for rain teams, and water types can return the favor by pressuring ground types. It also gets access to Intimidate, which combined with its fantastic defensive typing can make Overqwil very difficult to remove. Its signature move Barbarage is a great combo tool that can boost its own power, but Poison Jab is a strong contender for that move slot as well. However, Overqwil suffers from low special defense and only 115 base attack, which combined with its mediocre move pool, limit it to a spot right at the top of B tier. And after the B tier comes the A tier. Pokemon in this tier are very powerful, but not overpowered. Top tier sweepers need to do two things: move fast and hit hard. Hisuian Liligant is the queen of both. Thanks to Chlorophyll, she can reach up to 344 speed in the sun, easily outspeeding Regieleki, Booster Energy Iron Bundle, and pretty much everything else. She makes up for her mid-tier attack stat of 105 with super powerful moves like Close Combat and Solar Blade. Her poor defensive typing means that you'll probably want to run a Focus Sash on her. It's probably not worth using her signature move Victory Dance in most situations, since this Pokemon gets so much value out of diving straight into devastating attacks. Liligant also gets Sleep Powder, and overall feels like a physical version of Venusaur from Generation 8. Hisuian Liligant girl bosses her way onto A tier. Hisuian Samurott is easily the best of the Hisuian starters, due to its great synergy between its ability and move pool. It gets multiple moves that are boosted by sharpness, such as Aqua Cutter, Night Slash, X-Scissor, Sacred Sword, and its signature move, Ceaseless Edge, which may just bring spikes into the VGC meta. A lot of Samurott's stab moves have high crit rates, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see sets running Scope Lens. Like Samurott, Basculegion is another strong water type coming to Regulation D. It has the ability Swift Swim and access to its former signature move Wave Crash, a combo which only one other Pokemon has currently, Floatzel. Because of this, Basculegion will become a staple of rain teams. Other things the Mighty Fish has going for it are its Ghost typing, high base 120 HP, and access to the move Last Respects. It's always optimal to run male Basculegion over female Basculegion, due to male Basculegion's specialization in physical attacks rather than special attacks. With all this, Basculegion rounds out our A tier. And finally, we have the S tier. These are the Pokemon that will define the meta of Regulation D and future formats to come. Hisuian Zoroark is actually insane. It has the ever so amazing ability Illusion, allowing for so many shenanigans. The ability pairs well with Zoroark's 3 immunities, meaning your opponent will never be able to safely use Fighting, Normal, or Ghost moves. And that includes Fake Out. And its move pool, mwah! It gets Stab, Terror Blast, Sludge Bomb, Will-O-Wisp, Icy Wind, Hyper Voice, Grass Knot, Flamethrower, and so much more. And to top it all off, it gets its signature move, Bitter Malice, which will lower opponents' attack by 1 stage. Its one downside is its piss poor defenses, but that's nothing a Focus Sash can't fix. Enamorus is called the love-hate Pokemon for a reason. You'll love all it can do, and hate playing against it. It is the only Fairy Pokemon to learn Earth Power, which is huge because Fairy Ground offensive coverage is arguably the best 2-type combination in the entire game, and its special attack of 135 in both forms can devastate opponents. Its incarnate form is pretty fast and has the ability Contrary, which can turn its superpower into 120 base power bulk up. Its Therian form is a slow juggernaut that thrives in Trick Room, especially since its ability Overcoat grants it total immunity to Amoonguss' Spore and Rage Powder. Okay, let's talk Ursaluna. Who was in charge of balancing this Pokemon? I want to talk to them because its Flutter Mane levels are broken, even more so! It has one of the best stat distributions I've ever seen in a Pokemon, both hitting hard and taking hits. And, to make it even more busted, Cocaine Bear gets Stab Guts Facade, which can be boosted even further with Terra Normal. And what Facade can't hit, a Headlong Rush can. It doesn't even matter that it has slow speed, thanks to its insane bulk. And, if you want to fix that slow speed, you can always run it with Trick Room. And if you get that Trick Room up, Ursaluna will be nearly unstoppable. This is easily the best Hisuian Pokémon. And that's our ranking of all the Hisuian Pokémon. Of course, this list is based on first impressions, so there are bound to be Pokémon that perform better or worse than I rank them. Comment down below which Hisuian Pokémon you are looking forward to trying out. I'm SlyAbby from SlyAbby VGC. Thanks for watching, and good luck in Regulation D.